Everybody, Invisiblekatana here, and I do believe it is week 6 of the quarantine. Not much has happened. It is, of course, Sunday, the beginning of the week. If you guys saw my last video, I basically just ended it like, all right, not much to talk about. Saturday, there was nothing. I just wanted to end the video because I know I talked forever on Friday, so I was just like, forget it. I'll just end it because nothing really happened. And even if there was something, I could just save it for this video. But Saturday was not much. I uploaded a channel trailer for my Invisible High channel. I wish I saved that for today so that I could have used that as my like every other day upload. So unfortunately that didn't happen. So I'm like trying to deal with this stupid freaking program that is still freezing and all this other crap. And the video just finished rendering and I have to see how it sounds because I had the issue I had like 2 weeks ago where for some random unknown reason the audio just unsyncs automatically. Like I'll literally sync it up and then it'll be fine and then I'll skip to like 40 minutes into the video and then it's like a second off. So even though everything is still lined up, somehow the actual file itself just stretches out and then it threw like the whole video is off. So I cut the video in half. I rendered it as a test. So that just finished. So I'm gonna listen to it. It's probably accurate. It's probably gonna be off by the time I get to the end, and it won't like the audio won't be synced up with the video anymore, which makes literally no sense. It's synced up in the beginning, and then it's not. It's actually worse than the issue I had before, where the thing was like 2 hours long and it made no sense. It's kind of like that, except I I couldn't notice it. It was like really obvious. Like the thing is 2 hours long when it should be half that. That was really easy to figure out. Like, okay, something's wrong. So I spent a bunch of time actually going through the edits, and then as I went through, like I did something random. Like I was looking at it, and that's when I noticed the sound was off because I was mostly just listening to it, and then I noticed I was like, oh, that visually, what I just said there isn't the same, and it doesn't happen until like we don't notice it. It happens really early on in the video, but you can't tell because I mute the camera mic and I just use my microphone. Um, and so then you can't really tell because it's literally it'll be like 0.0001 second off, and then it like builds up, and then it's further and further away as the video reaches its end. So by like the end of the video, which is almost an hour long, it's legitimately like 2 seconds off, and I'm like, how does that happen? So I rendered it as a test, so I'll listen to that after I do this, but that's pretty much all I've been dealing with today. Is dealing with that because I want to have my upload for the day. Everything else is also like kind of messed up. I did like my new video for tabs, and I was like, oh, none of the audio is synced, so I have to manually sync that as well. And I knew that would have a bunch of edits because that was a really long video, so I knew I'd have a ton of cuts in there. So I was like, all right, I'll stick with Resident Evil Resistance because it was online. I talked pretty much through the whole thing, and it was online, so nothing was ever really like a slow moment because something was always happening. Like it was either other players or the mastermind person who's like watching all the people. Something was always happening. So I was like, I know there won't be a ton of cuts, so I can kind of do this fairly quickly, and I'll have an upload, and then I can probably work on the next video if I want to. And it's just been issue after issue. The program slowing down. I downloaded a new program today, and my thought was I'll do this last video on Power Director because I was like, it won't be too many edits. It'll be fine. That's what I was thinking. And then I'll test out this new program that I got. It's also a free program. Seems fine. I know a lot of people use it online and stuff like that. I'd actually heard about it in a different YouTube video that was really nice. So I was like, okay, if they can do all this in this program and it's a free one, I should test that out because maybe it won't slow down for for no apparent reason, and it's just dumb. So that was my plan. I was like, I'll do this last video and then I'll test it out and just try to mess around with it and learn its mechanics and stuff as the video rendered and see if I can make something comparable, which I'm sure I could. Just how long would it take me to learn it and kind of make it look the same as Power Director, which I'm very familiar with after the years that I've been working with it. So that was my plan, and I was like, it should be simple to do that. This will probably take me a bit of time, and then it's been freeze after freeze and slow motion, and I had to close the program because it froze up. Fortunately, it was one of those times where it actually saved the program where it was like, oh, it closed unexpectedly. Would you like to reopen the project? I was like, yes, I would. Because normally it just closes and then I'm screwed and I have to restart. So I was very happy with that. So I let it do its thing, opened it back up, saved it, of course. And then that's when I just was like, screw it. I'll split it in half and just render it just to see if it's actually off or if it's just something weird with the program. It's probably accurate. It's probably just, well, it would still be the program because I know the file isn't messed up. So it would still be technically the program is doing something weird and stretching the file out. So technically it would be the program no matter what. But I will see what happens with that. Otherwise, nothing has happened. So I uploaded a video on Saturday, which was I don't know why I don't just say yesterday, but I uploaded a video yesterday. Um, I, yeah, it was yesterday. I don't know why. Like it's throwing. Maybe that's why it's throwing me off because I'm so used to doing every other day, so it keeps throwing me off. But it was yesterday. So I did a video Friday. I uploaded the channel trailer yesterday, which I really wish I saved now because technically it would still be the every other day upload. Um, and then I've been dealing with all these freezes and now the audio thing, and it really sucks that I couldn't tell until I was like halfway through the video because I've done all these little chops and stuff. So there are some moments that are like cut out and things like that, and then it's like, crap, the audio's been technically unsyncing this whole time. So I might have to technically redo the entire video because of the stuff I took out. Like I can't. I mean, I could sync it up. I guess I would just have to resync it accurately. I don't know. The file is weird, so I might have to wipe the whole thing out and put the new file. I might have to do exactly what I did last time, which was make the MP3 file another MP3 file so that it can go into the program and not be weird. So I don't know what's gonna happen, but that's been really pissing me off because it's just been sitting around, and then after all that time of all the freezes, then I find out the audio's messed up, and now I might have to literally restart the whole thing, which it's simple. That's the thing that frustrates me the most. It's not even a hard edit. It's just the program that makes it difficult. So very frustrating. Might end up switching to the new program I downloaded very, very soon. But that's pretty much been the whole day. I've just been annoyed sitting in front of the computer trying to edit this one very simple video, and it's just, waiting for it to freeze and unfreeze, and that's pretty much been the whole day, and I hate it. Like it's very annoying. So that's pretty much it. The Resident Evil record will probably be in tomorrow. I did look it up. I think that was I looked it up today. It did have an official update. It is in the city. I'm pretty certain it's in the city. I think it was actually updated at like 4:20 a.m. or something like that, which I thought was funny. Or maybe that was when it departed, like the Detroit facility was like 4:20 a.m. or whatever. But it officially updated, and it got into the city today, which sadly is Sunday, so it won't actually get delivered. But it's in the city, so it'll be delivered to me hopefully tomorrow because it makes no sense otherwise. So that should be here tomorrow. So I might officially have my Resident Evil 1 record, and the story will finally be complete. All the records will be in, everything will be safe, and we'll be fine with that. So hoping that ends up happening tomorrow. I would love that. Then I can finally listen to my records with my OCD issues. But that's pretty much it. So the plan is to just deal with this Resident Evil video, and that's about it. I don't know what I'm going to do after I finish editing. Like, I really don't know. I want to kind of film, but I have so many videos. I have like a bunch of other stuff I can actually edit, so I probably won't film anything extra. I still need to get rid of stuff because I also don't have a ton of space. So I still need to do that as well. Like that was another big thing. I was like, all right, I can start getting into my edits and save up space, have the videos ready to go so I can, have them pumping out. But the program being so stupid, that's the only reason I'm always like doing it last minute, because I can't just be like, all right, took me 30, 40 minutes to edit my little video, boom, shoot through, cool, render. If it didn't take like 3 hours just to cut through like 10 seconds worth of crap, I'd be like flying through these edits. Like that's really the main thing. It's the program. So I'm probably gonna end up testing out the new one that I downloaded later today with a different type of video that I have to edit, since that doesn't have to look exactly the same. It's a totally different. It's not even a gaming video. So I'll probably end up messing around with the program. If not today, it'll probably be tomorrow, because I might be too frustrated when I'm finally done. Whatever I end up deciding to do on the edit, I might end up switching to a totally different game and just put something else out, just because of how many issues I've had with this Resident Evil video. But I'll probably end up waiting until tomorrow and just be like, you know what, I'll test it tomorrow, because I don't want to do any more editing, because that's all I've been doing is just sitting down and like click on something. All right, it froze. What a surprise. Click on YouTube, unpause it. 30 seconds go by, then it's like, okay, finally you did it. Pause the YouTube video, go back to editing, maybe for like another 10 seconds, because if I move something, it'll freeze again. And then I just go back to the YouTube video. Like I go through more YouTube videos, probably trying to edit a minute worth of video than I would, normally. It's insane. Or I go through about the same as I would normally. It feels like I barely miss like maybe 1 or 2 videos. And that's about it. Like that's how much time it takes just waiting on pauses. I basically watch all the videos within a day that I want to watch, because it just takes so long. So been a frustrating beginning of the week, solely based on the random stupid issues, but I'm looking forward to it. That other program, it didn't freeze for a split second. I even had them both open at the same time. I was like, let me just move stuff around just to see what happens. No slowdown whatsoever. Click something, drag and drop. Everything was like instantaneous. And I was like, okay. Only thing it doesn't have is the automatic audio sync, which is insane to me. So that's the one thing I'm gonna have to figure out because of the way I do the audio. For my gaming videos, it's like the gaming video also has to, the audio for that has to also sync up with everything else, which typically it works, but it also, even with the program that I have now where it auto syncs, it still doesn't tend to capture it most of the time, which is really crazy because I look at the waveforms as I'm recording and the spikes shoot up. I'm like, okay, that looks like it's good. And then when I do it and I like try to sync everything together, it's all separated. I'm like, that was insanely loud. Like my TV was all the way up. I put the microphone close to the TV. Like these are the gaming noises, like bleeps and stuff. And it's like, how does that not work? It still helps me. It definitely makes it easy to edit though, because I can look at the screen change and then I look at my camera and then I'm like, okay, it went from like blue to red. So it's really easy to like match it like perfectly up. Like, and I'm really OCD. I was like this close and I was like, it's off by like a frame or two. I literally was clicking like frame by frame to be like, all right, that's when it came up on the PlayStation. And then I look at my little face cam and I'm like, that's like 3 frames behind on like the beige lighting. And then I like move it like the tiniest bit. So my OCD definitely kicks in, which is also how I end up being extremely annoyed when the audio is off because I'm like, I had it synced up perfectly and then the file is just weird and then it's automatically off. And so it really messes with me in a lot of different ways. But that's been Sunday. It kind of sucks. I would love a pizza. I'm not gonna go get food. I have a ton of food here, but I might end up drinking some pop today because I need something that's really unhealthy. Like I'm having just one of those moments where I'm just like angry and I'm like I just wanted it to be done, and I think I've officially had it with Power Director. Like I can't stand how long it takes to edit the simplest stuff. Like I don't do anything special, but that's how it's been. So obviously I'm annoyed today. So that's pretty much been Sunday. Just annoying. Also, I'm in my bedroom. That's why the background is the same as the end of the last video. I brought it in here because I was like, oh, I don't, have anywhere kind of new to go, and the computer was on then as well when I filmed like the last clip for last week's vlog. So, yeah, it's last week's, but I was thinking, I was like, I can't say yesterday, but technically I can because that yesterday was Saturday. So for last week's vlog, or yesterday's vlog, if you will, but. Yeah, this is my bedroom. Obviously, you're just seeing the wall because there's nothing to see but my bed, and there's nothing like cool and nerdy in here. I have nerdy junk, but it's not like fancy. It's a bedroom. It's like, the extra stuff is there. I can show you this though, because I've had this forever. My little Jurassic Park toy. I remember getting this for Christmas. It used to come with like a muzzle and everything, so I remember that. But here you go, my Velociraptor. And it said, yeah, there it is right there. Boom, Jurassic Park. So, for whatever reason, I remember getting this for Christmas. I don't know why the tail actually spins. That doesn't even really make a lot of sense when you think about it. Like, if anything, it would make more sense to have it go left or right instead of just, like, I just turned the whole tail. But it was, it was a 90s toy, so what can you expect? It was just like, well, let's turn the tail. That doesn't even make sense when you really think about it. That doesn't even make sense. But that's awesome. I love that. I don't know why. That still gives me, So, that is Sunday. That's Jurassic Park. That's a bunch of change. Once again, it's the bedroom. Just throw crap. So, I will see you guys Monday. Hopefully, I won't be nearly as annoyed. But we shall see. But, unfortunately, this is Sunday. Hey, everybody. Once again, welcome back to the week. It is Tuesday, actually. It is not Monday. Because yesterday, I actually did this. Wow. Okay, well, I killed that. Where's my hat? My hair is nappy, of course, and I'm also super high, as you can probably see. Yeah, it's not yesterday, not because I was high, but because I actually ended up editing. Classic case. Like, I got up, I was like, okay, I did my little stuff, I was actually going to film, and then all my batteries were low because I'm stupid, and I've been filming and not charging my batteries. So I was like, okay, put the batteries in, charge the batteries. I'll hop on my computer, do some editing, try to recoup from all the time I lost from all my stupid audio issues, which I may have found a solution to that. I haven't tested it out yet, but I did end up downloading a program. I got Handbrake, so see how it works, see what I need to do. Hopefully that's all it takes, and I've taken that really tiny step actually once I found it, to fix my problem. What we shall see. But I was gonna film and caught up on editing, and then that was pretty much it. Like I went and like I would notice what time it was. It'd be like 9 o'clock or something, and I was just like, okay, all right, all right, all right, all right. The other thing that was happening that kept me, after I kind of did like went through and did my editing and stuff, was I was looking through gimbals. I've been looking up like gimbals and stuff, and it was because a friend of mine from college, my buddy, the Anarchist. You guys can check him out. That's the Anarchist. Is his channel. He does beats and conspiracy theory videos, which are always a laugh. Talking to him in person, we did an old podcast. Hilarious, like the stuff we talked about. You mentioned conspiracy theories on that old podcast. That was some funny stuff. So check out his channel. He did, like I said, he also does have beats and stuff, but right now he's doing this conspiracy thing. So check him out. But we were talking because we're depending on how crazy things get. We'll see what happens. We're supposed to be helping an old friend of ours do a promo. So hopefully that happens around June. That's all. That's pretty much it. I hope it happens because I hope it doesn't get crazier. So we were talking and stuff, and then we were thinking, talking about like looking up gimbals and possibly running a gimbal. And I was like, man, it's always one of those like little gadgety things. Like even though I haven't really like super gotten into some of the extra crazy stuff that I do or have done, I guess more it was with my old production company than really with the channel really. But I actually go through and I'm like, okay, I do every once in a while have like that one gadget I really want. Like I always freaking wanted a GoPro. So we were talking about gimbals, and then I started looking them up, and I was looking up all the comparisons. Like when I do my research, I'm up like until the middle of the night, like this is good. I watch other people's videos, like how they edit the video, and it's like, okay, let's see how this works. So I do like insane research when this stuff happens. So I was up all night, and I actually ended up buying one. So I'm getting the DJI Ronin SC, which is perfect for this because I have a Sony A6300. So it's like, I think it's like half the weight limit or something, or like less than half of the actual weight capacity. So I'm good. So I was like, okay, I'm not going to be getting a bigger camera anytime soon. It actually works. And it's just another thing to help me do some of the more creative stuff that I always have in mind. So I was like, finally ended up getting a gimbal. So that was pretty sweet. And I also finally ended up getting a GoPro because I did my research. And I was like, the GoPro Hero 8 is pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I have always wanted a GoPro. We'll see what happens. That's all I can really say. So I was thinking, I was like, okay, this is like the last big, like it was insane to make this purchase, but thanks to the extra little bit of government cheese we've been getting, and of course the fact that I'm fortunate enough to still be getting paid by my job, I was like, okay, I can afford to make this crazy purchase. So I made some real crazy purchases today. So that was keeping me up because I had to make sure I was like, I want to do this and I can, but it's like, is it right? Is it right? So hopefully it's right because I paid the money. So we'll see what happens. And I'll tell you, I have never had so much stuff where I just have time to be like, what random thing is out in the universe? And then boom, I'm coming across all sorts of crap to start buying. It's crazy. So that's what, you guys know that. The ongoing story of the records. So yeah, so was up late, didn't end up filming. That led to today. It's also like sometime 9:49 at night. And obviously I'm high. It was after making those purchases. I was like, okay, I made a big decision. I need to get high so I can logically think it through. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm very excited. It'll definitely come in handy with my current production company. I feel like I should probably dedicate some more videos to like my weird production company life because I actually have stories to tell. It's funny. So it'll definitely help us with our like short film that we're trying to do whenever that's happening, and it'll just be good because it'll get me back into the flow of things. It'll get me really into some of the crazier ideas that literally weren't possible, without some of these things. So I'm definitely looking forward to having that, and I really want to it made me like looking up all my photography stuff. I was like, man, I want to get back into like my figure photography because I haven't done that in a minute, and I have all the one. Well, they aren't here because I moved them like 2 weeks ago. But my 4 boxes of figures right here, 5 actually, because I have that amazing God of War one. I know I put the just in case, just in case, I'm super high. I feel like I talked about it because it's amazing, but I could have been talking to myself. Happens. It's a sign of genius or insanity. But either way, this is pretty sweet. Also, I just realized I never turned my heat off, and I feel like there was a loud sound that just ended, so I need to. It's too late, but just in case, because that could have been the heat. No, it couldn't have been the heat. I think someone just drove past. It doesn't matter. I'm high. Anyway, also the day that I didn't film, this happened. It's finally here. It is amazing. It has a different thing. This isn't see-through, which is weird. Because it, you know, I guess I just got feedback. Because this does feel weird. It's weird with touching my high fingertips. And it's giving me like a weird gag reflex. I realized I was kind of like dipping back a little. But it's not a see-through. It's like that, there's that glass door look to it. But Resident Evil is here. And it's the Resident Evil, be careful with this. Resident Evil 1 Remake. This is the remake Spencer mentioned. You can barely even see that. Ooh, yeah, there we go. So, I'm looking for, is that? Oh, wow, that doesn't even make sense. I was like, does that say RPD? It's a candelabra. Anyway, I'm super high. But, it came in, my final record. Well, actually, it's not the final record. I forgot. I've been so wrapped up in the fear of whether or not I was going to get any of these records that I totally forgot about from Laced Records, getting the whole set, like getting the Tekken and getting the other Resident Evil game. So, it may not be in lockdown by the time that happens, but I will definitely be doing a video on my video game vinyl. So either way, it'll be fine. But yeah, it came in. Everything's good. The Lace records will come in eventually. They'll add them to the collection. I've been thinking, I'm in the moment now. I'm like, I need one of those Crossley crates. I was like, I don't want one of those. And I'm already getting like 11 pack albums and crap. So I'm going to need some crates. I need to give me some crates because clearly I've dived in and now I'm there. So lots of crazy stuff happening. Got the album, made some crazy purchases. I mentioned, maybe that was Sunday or Saturday. I mentioned a previous crazy purchase. Something else was coming in the mail. It actually did come. You may have noticed earlier I did like that. That's pretty high up. Because I got the Death Stranding Collector's Edition. And I'm so happy with this. So I wasn't that interested in the game that much. So I never bothered picking it up. I was like, it seems cool. And it was like, okay, seeming a little weird and empty here. I'm not seeing much. And then the game came out, and it's really like, you love it, you hate it type of situation. So I was like, I'm going to avoid it. There's a guy at my job, the guy at the front desk, he would always talk about it, and I was just like, no, I got so many games to do, and this and that. I was like, I'm not that interested. Buddy at work had everything. And then I was like, if there's one thing dirty black people love, it's a good deal. And this was like $90. And I think it was like over 200 or something like that, the original price. So I was okay with it because I love me a collector's edition. I love the box art, honestly. I didn't realize I would like this so much. It's just because it's so tall, it's a really nice image. It's actually like a quality sized image. Actually, it's probably like the size of my I think it's bigger than this image is bigger than the display I just got. This is bigger than the medium display. That's why that looks nice, because that's a decent sized picture. So I love the art. I just realized, like, you guys couldn't see it. Like, this whole time I was literally looking at it, and then I just looked at my camera like, oh, you can't see that. There you go. It's a nice image. So this came in. I'm considering doing a high unboxing because it's an old video game to do an unboxing for. But I think it would be interesting to do that high because I've seen it, but still I wasn't like really prepared for like how large the box was gonna be. Like, I know the baby's like life size, like it was probably taller. It might have to be like top shelf. I knew that, but just seeing it is like, huh. Like, I mean, you saw I was holding it, like that's a big box. So it's almost as tall as my vacuum box, which because I haven't even taken the vacuum out, so it's just sitting here right now. It's a really good counter. I need another counter. That's really nice. Um, but yeah, so seeing it is pretty cool. So that came in. That'll be an unboxing. Probably gonna be a high unboxing. I might just do it tonight. I've been getting closer to putting out my Let's Discuss video, which is a new thing that I officially decided to do. So the episode is finished editing, and I can upload it tomorrow. So that'll be good. Went through, did Control, did Resident Evil. Actually, a lot of stuff did happen that first night. I actually really did do a lot with that editing stuff too. So I finished both of those. I ended up having to dump the audio from my mic and just going with the camera audio, which fortunately, as you are hearing, is fairly decent. Although, complications of being high, of course. There was one night I was high before I did the video. So with the going back to the heat thing, so many things connecting tonight. I forgot to turn the heat off. So there's a part in the audio where it's just the fan is just like, and I was like, how am I gonna do this? And then I just like, well, hold on. And I just played the game audio with the audio. And it's like, you can barely even hear the heater. And I was like, oh, yes. So I dumped the audio, but now I have the program, and that's what I'm gonna try to do with my next video. I'm gonna do that instead of dumping the audio. So I still have to put tabs out, but I put out the last episode of Control. I put out the first episode of Resident Evil Resistance. I was about to say Revelations, but the RE thing is how I have it typed out. Which my buddy's gonna get mad at me now. My buddy from college, we talked, and that was one of the things he mentioned was like, make sure you title every single piece of the video like that title. So like if I was doing something for Bayonetta, which is the Let's Discuss thing, because I didn't really go into that with my mini tangents, it was like, title everything Bayonetta. So that way, like, it's in the data that you're actually uploading. So it, like, the extra, those underlying internet algorithms that they use to spy on us, they also throw us some flavor. So it's like, okay, well, you put that in the data, and it might bring in some more views. So I'll start implementing that, because that was the thing. I was like, never really thought of that. But of course they're tracking it. They know what the data is being uploaded. They probably have a literal cache where it's just like titles that don't mean anything, and it's just like they just funnel that stuff away. Like that's really interesting. Like, but if it has an actual title to it, where it's like, okay, it's this, and they probably it's probably some insane algorithm that manages that in seconds, nanoseconds. So I was like, that makes a lot of sense. You upload everything that gets uploaded, regardless of whether or not the content's there. It can, it'll spread out automatically. It's just interesting. But that was something he told me, so I was a lesson to stay woke, as he put it. But check out The Anarchist. And actually, because this is another thing, I got one of his beats for the Let's Discuss videos, to bring it back to that. So the beat that you will be hearing is from The Anarchist, one of the many lo-fi beats that he told me to check out. He was like, black nerds love all that. So, which we do. It's true. All nerds love the lo-fi beat. We even, it's crazy. We were talking about the girl sitting in the window, the 24/7 anime hip-hop lo-fi beats. And that is hilarious. But yeah, so a lot of stuff actually did happen the past 2 days, but it was definitely split. So it was like the conversation that was yesterday, which was a part of why I was editing so much later, because we talked for like an hour. So that there was some stuff. It was split in between. So yeah, a lot of stuff has been happening these past couple days. But yeah, Death Stranding Collector's Edition. I'm gonna have a baby. How serendipitous! This giant. Oh, I mean it is. Yeah, it's a baby. Oh my goodness, that really actually is kind of painful to slowly lean back with that, but I love this image. So we got this. The record, the dangerous record arc is over. Probably going to be the best arc of the whole season. So Lace Records is like, it'll be cool, but it'll get here when it gets here. Nothing like a good retrieval arc in an anime. Like that junk is amazing. The Sasuke retrieval arc, so good. There's something I just watched where I was like, that's their Sasuke retrieval arc. I think it was, maybe it was My Hero. It was kind of it was the retrieval. It wasn't like they were chasing the anti-hero, but it was the retrieval arc. So I was like, this is their Sasuke retrieval arc. And I was like, it was pretty legit. They did some stuff that I wasn't anticipating. That's all I'll say for anyone who's not caught up on My Hero. But this most recent season, whew, it was good. That was another thing that I was researching actually. My Hero Academia, the man, you get so much time to look up the most random crap. Where I'm like, I look up so many deals and stuff now, because I have the time. But this stuff I never would even thought of. Like I wouldn't have been on eBay that much for the records. I wouldn't have been on there like, oh, Death Stranding. Oh, Death Stranding, interesting. Because I just get into this mode when I start looking stuff up, and I get this collector's edition mentality, and I'm like, what is out there that I don't have yet that I can get for extra cheap? And then I just go down the rabbit hole. Man, I don't know how long I'm gonna have to wait. I will wait till the end of days for that Resident Evil 3 Collector's Edition to go on sale. Because one day, I'm gonna own that Jill Valentine figure, and I will put her on one. I will, whatever I end up setting this stuff, as you can see, I clearly haven't been trying. It's been all video stuff and being annoyed or getting through stuff. So obviously the shelves are lacking. Like for now, that's like kind of just the hat shelf, but I don't know if I'm gonna keep it that way. I don't know. Like it's weird. I already have some stuff. Like the top shelf, of course, is Snorlax for the gaming videos, and then I have like the samurai hat, which he wears a samurai hat sometimes. That's just, oh man, it's just the things you say like so casually, like this fake plush Snorlax that I got from Japan that I treat like he's real, like he's my kid that I picked up in Japan for a great deal. Somebody left him like right on the edge. I was like, this is it. I felt like a deal after like the 200. I'm pretty sure I spent like $200 in that Japanese arcade. I learned my lesson. I got some sweet stuff. I got Ditto. I got Snorlax. I got this stupid Catwoman figure. I wish I gave it to the little girl, but I was in this mode where I had spent way too. It was like me and this family. We were like in competition. I mentioned this in my old Japan vlog, which you guys haven't seen that, but you can check it out because I went to Japan last year. Probably the last time for a long time. But yeah, I don't know. I was just holding my hands up here because I was supposed to have some action thought and I forgot. But I went to Japan, so if you want, I put like a couple episodes of that out, and then I just never finished it. I think that was when I got the crazy mold issue that I had to deal with in my last apartment. It was like as I was editing, and that was right when I was about to kick into overdrive. Like, oh man, a productive weekend. Bam, here comes mold. But anyway, I'm gonna backtrack to some other stuff with my friend. I don't know. I'm actually doing the movements. This is what happens when I'm high. But dang, I lost it. The ebbs and flows of time. That's crazy. But anyway, this is probably enough time. That's so sad. That was something there that was really good. It was something I was about to talk about with my buddy. But I just totally forgot. But that's being high. He'll appreciate that. I'm sure he's checking this one out. But yeah, that's Monday. Nope, that's Tuesday. Making up for Monday. No, it was only 9, so I haven't been recording that long. Yeah, I think that's it. I don't think I have anything else coming in. So, most likely high unboxing for Death Stranding, which of course, if you're watching this and you haven't seen that yet, I'm probably wearing this. Admittedly, I'm high right now. I would probably just do it right now. Are they banging over there? No, that's music. I don't know. That must be a lot of bass. Yeah. Okay. Never mind. That's music. It's music. Anyway, that is Screw it. That's Tuesday. Hey everybody. It is Wednesday. It is about 6. It's almost 7 actually. It's 6:58. Excuse me. Once again, still not Corona. Yesterday was fun. Last night was good. Being high and rambling. I got the record in. Had to recap for 2 days worth. So of course I rambled on. But it was fun, right? We had fun. We got records. Got surprise collector's editions. And that was good. That was a good time. And then I did an unboxing for said collector's edition. And I got the broke baby. So I have to return my collector's edition for Death Stranding because it was broken as soon as I pulled it out. And I would love to show you this footage. Second thing that's really crappy from last night. I didn't find out until today though. Although I guess technically that was after midnight. So it's all really just been today that sucked. Can't use the footage. Like, did a whole unboxing video, super long too, based on the data. Unsurprisingly, of course, not only was it an unboxing, but I was also high, so mini tangents were done. And I thought it'll at least be entertaining. Of course, the baby was broken, so as soon as I pulled it out, I'm like, all right, well, as soon as I figured it out, because at first I was like, is it supposed to shake like that? Because I'd never actually looked at an unboxing, so I was like, I always assumed it was still, but the fact that it moved, it was like a baby, and I know in the game it was inside of like artificial amniotic fluid. So I was like, is this like way more advanced than I realized? And you can actually fill this thing with water, and the baby like rocks back and forth because it's on like a little swivel. So if you shake it, or I mean, not really shake it, but if you shake it or sway it like you do in the game, like you have to like calm the baby down, maybe that is actually a function that you have. It doesn't have a strap or anything, but I was like, that's really interesting. And I was thinking, I was like, okay, it's rocking back and forth. There's no water in it now, because why would you ship it with the water in it? That actually made sense to me. So that's what I made up in my head as I was first going through it. And I was like, am I going to be able to, it took forever to get the thing out and all that. And so I go through, looked at a couple other things, and I think I put it down, and then I picked it back up. Oh no, I had to do the batteries because it takes batteries. So I flipped it upside down, of course. So I'm like holding it, I'm doing the batteries and stuff. And then I flip it back, and that's when I realized that's when I knew it was totally broken. Because at first, it was just like swaying back. It was literally like it was on a swivel. Like it was just going like kind of rocking back and forth. It was like bumping its head because I was like, there's no water. But if I filled it, it would be floating. It wouldn't actually hit the edges. And I was like, that's really cool. I made up something obviously way sweeter in my head than anything else, because in reality it was just my shitty life, and it was broken. So I have to return my collector's edition, which really sucks. I honestly got excited. I was like, man, I was really meh with the game, but I was looking forward to it. I was like, all right, obviously I mostly got it because of the collector's edition. Otherwise I would have just got like the used game for super cheap. But I was looking forward to it. I was like, okay, I'm excited now. And had another piece of the collection. It came with this little figure. That was actually like my favorite thing. I was like, it's like a full body version of the Kojima Productions character model. So it's not just the head, but it's like it's got that helmet and everything, which you can see through, and it's like a skull in it, and then it's like it looks like an astronaut suit. And I was like, that looks really cool. So I took some macro pictures of that. So here's some shots of that. Also, here's a shot of the baby. I took like one picture of it. Obviously, from that picture, you can't tell it's broken there. But I just wanted to get a cool picture. I was like, if it's broken and I'm going to return it anyway, I might as well get like some cool pictures out of it. So that was kind of something that ended up happening last night after being annoyed that it was broken and being like, cool, and having to decide. In the actual video when I was filming, I was like, I have to make a decision whether or not I want to like return it or do I want to keep it, even though it's broken. And I was just like, I think I would just return it, because that's not really what I wanted. Like, and that's not what it's supposed to be. Plus, it lights up. So I'm going to look up a good unboxing for a collector's edition just to see exactly what it looks like when it's lit up. Because once it was broken, it was like, okay, well, the light goes through like the clear little plastic, but I was like, it might look different, if it actually went in. Because I would assume that tube went like into the baby, so the baby lights up a tiny bit, but it also seemed very light. But once again, due to the fact that it was broken, and I realized that once I did the whole battery thing, I was like, well, I'm not going to bother to like turn all the lights off and see what it looks like. I didn't care anymore. It was broke. So I didn't really test it to see what it looks like in the dark. So I don't know if it being on the swivel makes a difference or not, but odds are I'm going to return it because I don't want like the broken version. So that sucked last night. And then of course, finding out that all that footage I filmed, which I thought would have been a decent silly video for my Invisible High channel, especially because it was like, oh, I got the broke baby, and that's just like a crazy little thing to have happen. And instead, I don't get anything. Like, I guess I gotta look up some stuff for Walmart, so I gotta figure that out. Because I don't know if they have their actual customer service stuff open. Because the couple, I've only been in like twice, but it doesn't seem like there's ever anybody there. Like, at least the last time I went, it didn't seem like it was even open. So I have to figure that out, which it should be open. But now I have to return that. I would love to still be able to get it because I can technically still get it online. We shall see. We'll see what the whole policy is with that. Plus, I think it technically shipped from someone else. It didn't ship like from Walmart. I got it through Walmart, but then I got like an email from like someone else. So I was like, okay. So it was kind of like if I bought it off eBay anyway. But because I did get it through Walmart, they owe me that refund. So have to figure that out now, which sucks. And that also means I have to. Well, I can check the day. I'm sure I still have 30 days on that, so I can at least check that first because I don't really want to go out earlier than I need to, so that I can kind of hit my 14 weeks for sure, and also not. I feel fine. So like, and I've been out Monday. But just as a precaution, I want to, feeling fine now. And then just in case I am fine, then it makes it worse, that I'm already, going out more. So I'm like, that's cool. So I have to look that up, which sucks. So that was broken. So that game won't be on the channel like I anticipated. Because I was like, I'll play it high. Why not? It'll probably make me enjoy it more. Or it'll make it even crazier with all the walking. Who knows? But that's what happened yesterday. So that really sucked. But today, based off of what I'm looking at here, can't possibly be broken. But I got some more stuff in. And I'll be totally honest, I forgot that this was even a thing. I just totally forgot that I even ordered it, to be totally honest. But I finally did it. And I got Scott Pilgrim 5 and 6. So I officially have all of Scott Pilgrim. And it was on sale on Amazon. So I got my last two. I didn't buy like all of these. It was literally just 5 and 6. Oh, that's backwards. Yeah. So it was just 5 and 6. But I had 1 through 4. And now I have them all. 6 is huge. 6 by itself is bigger than every single individual one here. I think 4 is the second largest based off of like just looking straight down. So I think it's 6, 4, probably 3, 2, 5, and then 1 is the smallest book. But yeah, so I gotta make some extra space now. I gotta move some things around on my bookshelf so that I can fit these last 2 in. But I'm probably gonna end up taking a day. I don't know if it's gonna be this week. It'll probably be next week. But I'm probably going to take a full day and just read the whole series. Just take a day, like, maybe in between my upload days for my Invisible High channel. Maybe edit 2 quicker videos or something like that. I did do a Let's Discuss video last night on collector's editions, of course, because I was like, I have to just talk about it. So I did one on that. That footage actually came through. So, actually, here's some footage of that. So you can see, you won't hear what I'm saying. But the little bit of footage of, the broken baby. So there you go. But yeah, that's the only footage I got. Unless I can figure something out with the collector's edition, or with the collector's edition unboxing video I did, that footage is dead. Which really blows, because I filmed it for a long time, and I'm like, I would have much rather just, not have spent the time filming if that was going to happen. Even with, like, the broken baby, that's good footage. Like, that's good footage to have, because I'm high and stuff, and then I'm like, this baby's broke. Like, I screamed that when I realized, like, I got the broke baby. So, that would have been good footage. It's good footage. I wish I could have it, but, it's just, I don't know. I don't know. It was like the Death Stranding curse. Like, the baby was broken, the footage got messed up. It was weird. It was just like the ghost from the game just reached out and just killed everything involved with it. Like, none of this is going to work for you. So, that's what happened with the collector's edition, which really blows. Because like I said, I got excited. I was like, man, I love this. Just the image on it was sweet. Unboxing it was cool. And having like this, it's like this big. I mean, you saw the footage, but genuinely, it's huge. Like, it's actually a decent sized thing. I didn't even know it lit up. So that would have been even cooler because I had no idea it even took battery. So I was genuinely surprised by that. So I was happy. I was like, cool. It has like a little, it just lights up. So it's like a small extra feature. But it was still more than what I thought. I genuinely just got it because I'm like, it's just cool to have. But it's like, oh, it lights up too, so that's pretty neat. If it's dark enough, you see it. Same with any cheap light up figure. Same with like the My Hero 2 thing. If I get the collector's edition, it only lights up on like the foot. But I'm still thinking about that. I don't know if I'm gonna do it though. But yeah, I was like, well, that really blows. And I was, like I said, kind of looking forward to playing the game and stuff like that. That little tiny figure was amazing. It was like it just looked cute. It was just cool. So I like that, but. Yeah, that really sucked. I did end up doing a lot of photography last night because of that. So when I took that little picture of the thing, I got pictures of like my Cowboy Bebop figure that I have. Obviously, it's, as you see, it is Spike. I took pictures of like some of my other little figures of like Tron and the Matrix. I think those might be the only ones I got pictures of. So Tron, Matrix, the figure I'm going to be returning now, the tiny figure from Death Stranding, and then my Cowboy Bebop figure I got some images of, which was really cool. And I used my macro lens, and I actually used like my light box and everything, which has been a minute since I've done that. So that felt good to do. And I probably still would have done that. So it could have been like a great night. Like I had this cool unboxing and I did that, but instead it was like half and half because the unboxing was unfortunately crappy due to it being broken, and finding out that the footage was corrupted. And now it's like the only thing I really had that was cool was, I guess, my initial excitement doing this with you guys. And then after all of that, just doing some macro photography, which was cool. I just listened to my podcast and I was just lying on the ground and just propping up my figures and stuff. So I was like, it's been a minute since I've done that. So that felt really cool. And that was fun to do. But yeah, so that's what happened after doing the vlog yesterday, unboxing. It was broken and I don't even have the footage. So hopefully I can fix that. I just don't know if that's really possible. So we'll see what happens. But that is the day. Got my Scott Pilgrim in. That really caught me off guard too. With me staying up, being up super late because I still, can't really sleep much. The knocks on the door, like my stuff getting delivered is pretty much how I wake up now, which was most of last week, getting the records in, like everything finally coming in. So it was like a lot of knocks on the door were mostly while I was asleep, and that would pretty much be like my wake up call because I don't wake up until like noon or 1. So the dude knocks on the door at like 12, and that's how I wake up because he's knocking on the door and it's like, oh, okay, I guess the world exists now. So that's pretty much how it's been. I was about to say I don't have anything else coming in, but that's not true because as I mentioned before, I got the GoPro and I got not the crane, the gimbal. So those should be coming in. Those will probably, it was even on the website, like for GoPro, it was like, 2-day shipping and stuff. I was like, I don't think that's going to happen, and that's fine. So that'll probably be here next week. I don't think it's even shipped just yet. So for now, for the next couple of days, that's my Scott Pilgrim's going to be the last little shipment that I got. But got some cool stuff coming, so that's nice. And who knows, the Lace Record stuff, especially with it being from the UK, that's probably not going to be for quite a while. So I'm not even, thinking about that just yet. So sooner than the records are going to be the new camera equipment. So I'll definitely be talking about that and being all nerdy and excited about that. I don't know if I'll do specific videos about those, like actually getting them in. Maybe I will, just because I'll be excited, like, my new little camera equipment and stuff. So I might do it, I don't know, but it'll definitely be in the vlog. I'll be like, hey, here's the thing, and here's, the GoPro. I assume will just be like this, because I'm not gonna like unbox it. I saw an unboxing. The boxes are the same as like the tiny one that I got before. So that'll be cool. And I have a bunch of the accessories from my old GoPro, and they kept them all the same. So very happy about that. I don't really have to buy anything extra, although I do think I need to get some lens protectors, because apparently the new big thing to hate with the GoPro Hero 8 is that they took off the lens cap. So instead of just being able to like throw away the screen when it cracks, you just have to send it in. So I'm gonna end up getting some protectors. Not that I expect to do anything intense like that, but that's almost the point, is that you're gonna push, it's a GoPro, so you're gonna push those limits at some point. And I'm like, you know what, because especially with this being my first like big GoPro and not like my little cube that I had, I'm definitely gonna go ahead and get some of those screen protectors and have them sent in, because I'm like, you have to send it in. It is a horrible design. Like they had it where you just take it off the front and then boom, you replace it. Weird. It's super. It would make them more money to just keep it that way. If you really think about it, like all they would be doing is screwing themselves over by having to replace it, instead of just being like, well, let's just keep making the glass. So there must be some weird thing going on behind the scenes for them to have made that decision, because it's not a practical one, like in any way, because you're getting less money because people can't buy screen protectors, and you're putting in more work, because as soon as it's cracked, the only thing that you can do is send it in for repair, and that's literally it. So there must be something weird going on behind the scenes, because it's in no way is that a smart decision for the consumer or even for the company. So it's really weird to have that feature taken away, and it's like, we'll just get screen protectors, which I would assume are cheaper than the lens caps, but I don't really know. I'm not 100% certain about that, so maybe I'll do some research. Either way, I already got I'm not gonna be like, cancel that and give me the 7 so that I can get the little screen things. The 8 looks good. Like I did my research. I mentioned when I do my research for like a new tech thing, I do my research. So yeah, made my decision on that, so I'm excited for those to come in and start utilizing that stuff. But for now, it is Wednesday. I have no idea what I'm going to do. I realized today that I forgot to upload the last vlog. Typically, I do that on like Sunday or Monday. I think one of the weeks I did it like Tuesday at the latest. I genuinely just forgot because of all the crap I went through with like the Resident Evil edit and control, and having to like dump all the audio from my microphone and just go with like my camera audio, because of those crazy issues where I was trying to figure stuff out forever, which I'm still trying to do because the issue I had with the handbrake thing, it didn't fix it. So I'm still trying to figure out like if there's something I can do, or if maybe I need. I don't think the new program would even do it. I think it's just the video. So I got to figure out what I'm doing as far as filming, the audio, and all that stuff. Like I need to figure out how this is suddenly happening because I went back to my old videos to be like, crap, have all my videos been crappy like this? And they haven't. So I don't know what happened where suddenly my files are like in audio drift. Makes no sense. I've been doing, video on top of video, all these gaming videos, and then out of nowhere, like this most recent batch, all of them have the exact same problem. It's just audio drift, and I'm like, this really blows. So I don't know. I might be having a couple weeks where you see a lot of gaming videos where it's just camera audio because that's all I can do, just to at least have uploads. Um, at least legit gaming video uploads and not just my Let's Discuss gaming video. So we shall see. But it is Wednesday. I'm super hungry right now. I think I have like 3 more of my little hot dogs, which has been like the only thing I've been eating, which is incredibly unhealthy. It's like cereal. And then, especially with the way I've been up, because I wake up at like 1, so I'll eat at like 1:30 or 2, and I eat cereal, and then now it's like 7 o'clock, and it's like, all right, I'm hungry, and so I just eat hot dogs, and then that's like the last thing I do, and I'll try to do like a tiny snack or something. Like I had fruit for like the first time yesterday. I blended up some fruit, and I put in that white cran peach. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Probably super unhealthy with all that sugar in the white cran peach, but I was also throwing Tang in there. But I think the Tang was probably healthier because I would put like a tiny bit for extra flavor, and I was pouring that junk in with the white cran peach. I was like, you know what, just there we go. So probably less healthy, but much better. It was really good. But that'll be the end of today, and we will see what happens tomorrow. Welcome, folks. It is Thursday night. I am currently high again. So the day was pretty simple. Not much actually happened. I tried with the video games. I found another program. I'm gonna download that. I think that's all I got because the program I downloaded, Handbrake, did not work for me. All the videos I find on this audio drift stuff, I might have to look into another program. My buddy was saying Sony Vegas. That's what he has, and I'm just like, all right. I gotta, of course, with the program that I already have, a Power Director, I was like, I have to see if I can figure this solution out so I at least have something, because you have to pay for Power Director or for Sony Vegas, and of course, Adobe Premiere is always the thing, but now it's monthly, and ever since that happened, I was like, well, I can't afford that extra bit of money on when I already have a program that technically works for most of the problems I have. So it's, I don't know. I had to really think about it, like, what am I gonna do? Because right now the channel's so small, it doesn't have to be insane. And I was looking up a bunch of YouTube videos about that, and like starting a channel and things like the tips and tricks that they do. And it's like, okay, what am I not implementing? That can really fit to like the gaming channel. So all that stuff, I was like, okay, I would love to just have my good audio. I like some good quality audio because bad audio, bad video. But I don't know. I gotta figure it out. And fortunately, the microphone, as you use the Rode Micro. I feel like there's another part in there, some other word supposed to go there, but it's the micro. It's the mini microphone. That's what I'm like. The mic? No, that's not right. It's the mini microphone. Rode Micro Mini. I think it is actually called Micro and Mini. So there are many options. Once again, research stuff, but the audio is good from it. So I don't know. We'll see what happens with that. I think I have to upload. Actually, the day after tomorrow. I put my upload today. I put up my first Let's Discuss for Bayonetta, so that's officially up there. Didn't work on the data for like trying to get the collector's edition for the game, like the unboxing for it. I have no idea about that one, so we shall see. I decided to return the game, of course, because like the main thing was broken. So I did that. Returned it. They gave me until May 30th, which things are going on. Probably threw in a couple of extra weeks, so I am gonna return that. But I did go online. I went on eBay, and so I mentioned before. I went through Walmart. I technically went to Walmart, but it was sold through someone else. And I mentioned getting that email where I was like, oh, okay, that's interesting. So it was more like the third party. So it was kind of like more of an Amazon type of situation. And I thought it was more like it's coming from Walmart. So I thought that was pretty interesting. So that's kind of how that ended up going. So I was like, all right, interesting. So returned it, but I went online because on eBay, I think I mentioned there was some that were cheaper than the one that I paid for. That was the same place. So I went on eBay and I bought one again. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna swap them out because I couldn't do a swap, and I think it was because it was through the Walmart thing that it could only be refund. Like I didn't even have the option to be like, I want a replacement item and stuff. And I think that's specifically because of the third party element. It's not like, oh, we're shipping it from our warehouse, we'll take it and then ship you out the next one. It's like, nope, if it didn't work, it didn't work. Refund, that's it, because they're technically just a Walmart's like the middleman here, so they're just like, we don't want to do all that. Refund only. That's it. We wash our hands of you. So had to go to the actual eBay spot to get another one because I do want it. Like that's why I picked it up. It was cheaper. I'm not like super crazy about the game, but enough to get the collector's edition and technically be paying more than full price for the game. Even though I got it for like, it's an insane deal because I'm pretty sure it was like $200. I don't know if I mentioned the actual price that it was, but yeah, I thought that was a heck of a deal. So I was like, I would love to have it. It's a crazy piece. It's a large piece as well. So I would love to actually have it, and I'd be okay getting it because it's a deal. It's a deal. So what can I say? So I wanted it for sure. So I went and bought another one. I'll be very gentle with it when I take it out. I'll of course be doing that on here. So it said the 7th, but considering the story of the records, I'm not gonna hold. Well, I don't know. The Doctor Strange thing got here super quick, so who knows? It might actually get here on the 7th. I forgot about that. All the records were super slow, but Doctor Strange was just like, okay, 2 days and it was in. So that might actually happen. So we might have. Well, I guess. Yeah, I guess so. Technically, I'll do the unboxing on here. I was thinking we might have like 3 unboxings, but I'm not gonna unbox like my GoPro and all that stuff on camera because there's not. I'm not gonna do that type of video. But we might have some more one extra large package coming into play. So that'll be something. We'll see if it actually gets here. I'll be gentle with it, but I don't know what to expect. I'm freaking out about it, but like the odds of getting like 2 broken ones in a row is like really crazy. And I'm like, okay, let's see what happens. And the funny thing is, I saw a YouTube video where a guy had a broken one. It was a normal unboxing. It was just like mine. I mean, he was sober, but it was just like mine. Like I went through and I kind of scrolled through. Like in the title, it said broken. Like I specifically typed it in too, and I was like, holy crap, one came up. And so he was going through the unboxing. He was taking out like the caution tape. He was like, that's cool, and the little figure. And he took like the instruction manual stuff because it's like the instruction manual and then it's like the plastic wrapping and then the baby's inside that. So it was like he had the paper over it and he took it off and he kind of lifted it and it was just like, oh, it looks like it's shaking around. That's exactly what happened to me when I did my unboxing, and it was like, huh. So he had the exact same reaction, like, oh, it looks like it's shaking around a bit, and then it was like, oh no, it's definitely broken. So I was like, yeah, I'm not the only one. So saying he said the same thing, and I think that was much closer to when the game like first came out. So I think that was like a full price one for him. So that probably sucked. Although I'm sure he got a replacement. I'm sure they would have to do that. Well, they wouldn't have to. They could just say refund only. So hopefully he was able to get one. And hopefully the one that I got/get is okay. Yeah. Like I said, the odds are insane. So we'll see what happens. But that should be next week if it comes in more like Doctor Strange, less like tiny records that somehow just got lost in the wind. So that should be cool. This Saturday is actually going to be Free Comic Book Day. Well, it would have been Free Comic Book Day. So I was like, that's when I'm going to read Scott Pilgrim. I'm going to take Free Comic Book Day, and that's going to be my adventure. It's just going to be Scott Pilgrim 1 through 6, every single book. That's what I'm going to do. So I'm looking forward to that. Odds are I'm going to do this video, on Saturday. It'll be after I read through all the books, but I'm looking forward to that. I definitely plan on doing a review as well. If I can manage to do it fast enough, you might have already seen that review, because I'd have to. It would just be a normal review on this channel, so odds are that should be up before this video actually comes out. But check that out if you haven't seen it. Hopefully it is up, and if it's not, then please check it out when I put it up. But definitely looking forward to that. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna do that on Saturday. I'll make some Instagram posts and stuff and kind of just spread the love of Free Comic Book Day. It's always cool. You get a bunch of free, like a lot of my comics are Free Comic Book Day comics. You go around and, so I think it was, the last year, maybe the last 2, I decided, okay, because I didn't know this for a super long time, but Free Comic Book Day comics are actually paid for by the comic book stores. I did not know that at all until like very recently. And when I found that out, I was like, oh, okay. So I started, going to the stores because, that was kind of like the big thing to let people know, like, hey, they do actually pay for those stores. Because, let's be honest, like, maybe 80% of the people that go to Free Comic Book Day do not buy comics. If we're being totally honest, that's kind of how it goes. It's just like a cool little festival thing. Like you hear about it, it's like, oh, this cool nerdy thing, let's get some free comics. For the most part, it's people that do not give an F about comics. It's younger kids, some super nerds like me, and then you see like a ton of adults who are just there, and everybody gets a ticket. So it's like, oh, great, and kids get extra options and stuff like that. So kind of the idea of making sure you buy stuff there, that kind of came into my head once I found that out. I was like, oh, that's interesting. So I started going around, like every store I went to last year, I would buy something. So that is actually how I got my Futurama Simpsons comic. That was Free Comic Book Day. I was like, holy crap, that's amazing. So that's what I bought in that store. It's a store in Allen Park. I cannot remember the name of that place right now, but it's a spot in Allen Park. It's like probably on that same strip that where the dollar store used to be. Sorry for anyone who might be watching this that does not live in Michigan, but that's all I got for anyone who might be checking this out locally. But it's like right down the road from this old dollar store, or not dollar store, dollar theater that like just recently closed. It was like the last dollar theater in the state, I'm pretty sure. So it's that one for anyone who's local. And if you want to look it up, there you go. That's a store. There's a comic book store really close to the last dollar theater in Michigan, or some part of the country, which technically Michigan is. But that's how I got that. That's how I got those tiny figures like the Matrix, Neo, and the Tron figure. Both of those were Free Comic Book Day purchases because I was like, oh, well, let me get a little trinket here and there and spend like, just a tiny bit of money since I'm getting these free comics. I mean, some places would give you like old school comics. Like it was like, all right, these are just like really, really old, unpopular comics, but it's still really cool because it's like, oh man, that's still a legit. I think I got something. I think it was it X-Man? It was either X-Man or Excalibur. It had to be, no, it was X-Man. It was X-Man. So I got like a full series where it was like 1 through 4 or something like that of like this small arc in an X-Man comic. And I was like, that's pretty awesome. Like even though it was, they're super old, unpopular, I got a complete story. It wasn't just like a tiny little thing. It was like I got like a full arc comic, series in like 3 or 4 books. So that's awesome. And, cool stuff like that. And that's free. So it was really interesting. One of the comics I got, I think it was called Shadowhawk or something like that. I saw the cover. It's like a jet black cover, and it just looks sweet. Like it's just so cool. It has like a tiny bit of silver, but like most of the thing, and it's like etched, or embossed. I'm trying to think of the right word. It's like embossed, so you can like feel the character, and they stick out, and the building behind them has some detail. And I was like, this just looks really sweet. Like you can't even actually see the title unless you like have a reflection going on it, so you can see it at an angle. Because if you look at it straight on, it's not thick enough. Like it's literally like just jet black with the tiniest bit of silver on the character's costume. And I love that. So I thought I was, you get crazy types of reasons, even though once again might not be popular. That could be worth something. Who knows? They might make a movie real soon, and then that comic might be worth like gajillion dollars, and I'll sell it in a heartbeat. It would be cool. It's cool to have it. And I'm a big nerd, but if I had a comic and it just suddenly was like poof, it's worth $1 million, I'd be like, here you go. Like, well, I don't know. Oh, you can, yeah. I don't know if I'd get rid of my Back to the Future, and that's real close to the heart. But $1 million, man, I think, crap, that's crazy. That's a tough one for me. I don't know why I even put that in my head. I mean, it would be nice to have $1 million, and then I could just place it with a lot of other comic book. Oh, but then I couldn't. I couldn't. That's nuts. I think I'd have to do it though. I still have my picture. With Leah Thompson, so I can hold on to that. And it's more than just her autograph, but it's her autograph on like a really cool. I think I already did this a few days ago, but if I didn't, I just like that. It's supposed to be like drawn on and stuff. I love this. When I saw it, I was like, that's freaking amazing. Sorry, I'm not really looking. There it is. Less reflection. It's got like the Peabody stuff written in. I think he wrote his name up here somewhere. Like the the Peabody son. It's just cool. And it's like references to the movie. It's like, Planet Vulcan stuff. And that's just cool. That's just a really cool opening. Or, I don't know, I said opening, but that's just a really cool variant cover, and obviously with it being Back to the Future, it's insanely special. So, whoops, sorry, Leon. So I don't know. It'll be interesting. I doubt that'll happen, so I don't know what I'm saying. It'll be interesting. But anyway, that's why I buy a bunch of stuff. So for Free Comic Book Day this year, or I guess just the first Saturday in May, I guess it's not really Free Comic Book Day. Because technically it isn't. It's weird because it's Free Comic Book Day, so it feels like a holiday because I'm such a giant nerd. So it's really funny. It's like, it's not like, if the virus was happening and it was Thanksgiving, it's like, it's still Thanksgiving. But it's Free Comic Book Day is technically more the event than the actual day. Like it's not really a day. Well, Thanksgiving isn't a date either. So it really is the same thing. It's just way less, important to people, and it's based on nerdiness and not like a bunch of murder. So different sides of the coin. But for this Saturday, I will be looking forward to reading all of Scott Pilgrim in one go. That'll be great for my electricity bill as well, because I can just charge up my phone, and that'll be all I need to do, and just play some music. I wouldn't even play music. I actually read in silence. Like, I don't know how people, I just thought of that in movies. People read with music. I've never once tried that, which I know I'd never read, because I'd be like, oh man, I missed this song, and then I'm just singing the song, and I'm like, oh, I'm just looking at colors. So I feel like that's how it would be for me. So that's interesting though. Like if I'm doing, yeah, I guess if you're like doing math and stuff, it's two separate things. Eventually, there's always that one song that just hits you. But, that's interesting. I wouldn't do it. I'd just be sitting here in silence. Like, yeah. So I guess I wouldn't, it would really save on my bill, because I wouldn't do anything. Just sit in silence, 1 through 6, and then I'm definitely going to do a full series review. So look forward to that, like I said, or check it out. Or check it out now, or look forward to it. I don't know. But that's pretty much it for tonight. I mean, not much else is going to happen. It's a rainy indoor night. And I folded some clothes today. That was another thing I did. And that's really about it. There's like nothing else. I'm probably going to play a game. I don't think I'm going to record tonight. I might play Sayonara Wild Hearts. I always wanted to do that for the channel. And that was another thing. I would need like some insane chords to pull that off. So it just wouldn't work the way that I would want it to really work, which is unfortunate. But yeah, so I might do that. I might not. I could still record the footage though and find some way to do it, I'm sure. So I don't know. Maybe I will. Maybe it'll just be different. It'll just be like a crazy reaction. But we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. I'm like looking over. I realize like I'm just looking like I really should do that. I should play the video game today. I should play Gravity Rush 2. I started that a long time ago. I think it was before RE2 came out. And it was just like, yeah, no. Like, it just fell off. Like, games started coming out. And then I've played a couple missions, but I think I honestly just got to, like, the first planet. Or, well, it's not like a planet. They have, like, spaceports, I guess is the best way to put it. So I left one village and, like, went to another one. And I've basically done, like, one mission in the second location in the entire game. Technically third, and then I'm just done, and I just haven't played. And I love that game. Gravity Rush is amazing, and this one has a photo mode. You'd think I'd be all over that, but I don't know. I still have to play Horizon Zero Dawn too, like the DLC for that. I still have to play the DLC for Fallout 4. I need to go to Nuka World. It's been so long since I played that. I didn't even beat it on my second playthrough with the female character. I haven't even finished that gameplay yet, so interesting. Maybe I should do that for live stream. I don't know. Well, obviously, I'm high. I'm rambling. That's kind of the point. Also, I did put some more stuff on my new channel, but that's really about it. I didn't put stuff on there. I shouldn't say that. Although, by the time this comes out, I will have something else is on there. I figured it out at this point. Tabs or no tabs. But I lost track of what the heck I was saying. I updated my channel. That's what I put, like, a description in there and linked this channel to my Invisible High channel. I linked my Invisible High channel to this channel, so it's like if you go to the channel things, my other channel's there now, which is a weird thing because I have to switch back and forth, so of course it logs that. So I was looking at one of my channels and I like copy pasted the link so it could be like add this channel to this channel, but because I went from one account to the other one, when I tried to put it in, like, at this channel, it was like, you can't add your own channel. And I was like, what is it talking about? I thought it was, like, linked because it's like my branch account because I use the same info because that's how you have to do it. Once you make a Google account, you get one, I guess, unless you made a brand new one. So like having it linked, I was like, what the heck is it doing? Like, why isn't it working? Then I realized it was because I had logged out and it registered the Switch, even though visually it showed the one account. I was like, huh, how about that? I'm just dumb. But that was really it. Updated the channel. Tried to figure out this sound situation. I really hope I do. I don't know. I'm going to try one more thing in my next video, and I'm going to do 1080p at 30 frames. Because I do 60 because of the games, but I was like, you know what? If 30 frames is the problem, which I don't think it is, but it could be, because I export at 60 frames, but like how I'm recording now at 30 frames, that's how I do it. You shouldn't do that, but that was how I was putting it into the thing, because it was so tiny. So it was like the smaller the video, the less of an impact it had, like technically doubling the frames, or less you could really tell. And it's not really what you focus on, except for me busting out laughing. So it was like, huh. Maybe I just do 1080p, 30 frames per second on this camera, and that's how I render everything. The games will be 30 frames per second, and that's just how it's going to be. So we'll see what happens. Maybe that'll work. Maybe it won't. I don't freaking know. Technically, yeah, actually, I don't think it matters. I think that's the problem. It doesn't actually matter. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'll just figure it out. But for now, it's Thursday. I wish I had some Buffalo Wild Wings. I wish I had some hot wings. Sadly, no. But it's Thursday. Oh, man. That means tomorrow is Star Wars. I was like all over Star Wars yesterday. I was just like, man, I can't wait for these last 2 episodes. And it's tomorrow and then Monday. That's going to be good. But anyway, for now, it's Thursday. I'm going to play something. I'm going to play some video game and just kind of relax for the night. At some point, I'm going to download DC Nation as well. Don't think I've been bringing that up. Every night I think about that, and then it's like 9 o'clock, and I'm like, well, I'm not going to do it now, because then I'm wasting my first day. So I got to, one of these days, it might not be until next week, but one of these days, I'm going to download the DC Nation. I'm going to watch all my Young Justice, and I want to go through all those Batman movies that I haven't caught up on, and actually review them all. But every night, I was like, it's 9 o'clock, I've been editing. Well, do it tomorrow. And I already got plans for Saturday, so I was thinking about that earlier. Like, do I just wait till next week since I know I'm going to read Saturday? I might as well. Might do that. Anyway, still rambling, but that's Thursday. It is Friday night. It's basically Saturday morning. It's like 11:57. Wanted to do this, of course, very last minute. Not much happened today. Like, pretty much nothing happened at all today. After I filmed last night, I did end up playing Sayonara Wild Hearts, so I actually went through the whole game. It's only like a 2-hour game. I already knew that going into it, so it was really good. I really enjoyed it. Like, I'd always been saving it to play it high, and excuse me, it was a really good experience. I love the music. The visuals are really good. Some of the levels are really tricky, whereas like you don't expect the music to be what it's gonna be, and like how you go through the level is timed with the music, which is really interesting for some of the later levels as well, where you realize like you're going more on the visual, of course, when you do it, because it's like, oh crap, this thing is going to be in this way, and then I got to do this, and then you realize like, oh, it's going with the beat. If I just kind of do a quick glance at what's in front of me, I can just move with the beat and everything's fine. And I realized that, and I was like, oh, that totally makes sense. That's really cool. But when you first see it, it's just like, holy crap, they're throwing a bunch at me, and you don't know what to do, and then you're like, oh wait, it's like, it's literally like a metronome. It's going with the beat of the music, so you can kind of just like, it's not as complex as you're seeing it, because you take in like 5 things at once, and you're like, oh man. But in reality, it's just like, well, just do this, and then you just kind of move, and you're really only doing like maybe 2 or 3 things at once, but not like 5. So I really enjoyed the game. I played through it, I beat it, and it was fun. And then I played through a couple of levels. I played through quite a few of the levels on repeat. Like, some of them I did to try to like go for the gold. I think that's why I replay most of them. But I kind of went through and I picked like the ones where I liked the music the most, or the ones that were just like the craziest, and I would pick those to try to win. So some I did end up doing better. I think I got 1 gold when I first went through, and then when I kind of was just picking and choosing levels, I think I maybe got like 1 or 2 more. So still quite a few for me to unlock. And there's some special mode on there where you have to get like gold on all the levels in order to unlock it. I'm probably not going to do that, admittedly. I'll probably just look up to see what that extra bonus thing is. But I really did enjoy the game. It was really good. If you don't know what it's about, it's actually like a game about heartbreak, really. So it's actually pretty interesting. Like, it's cool, like the way they kind of tell this story without words. So it's really cool. Visuals are fantastic. Like all the characters you meet. Like I once again, every game I wish had a photo mode now, but that was definitely one of those ones because it has that sort of it's that weird blend where it's not it's pseudo cell shaded, but it also makes me think of claymation a little bit because all the models look soft. Like I don't know really how to explain it, but if you look up Sayonara Wild Hearts, you'll know what I mean. So I really enjoy that. It looks like Firewatch. Like, it's kind of that same aesthetic. Like everything kind of looks like clay a little bit. Like it just has that artsy aesthetic where it's like everything just looks a little soft based on how it is. But I loved it. I love the visuals. I like the music. Gameplay is fun as you kind of go along with the beat. Very simple. I knew it was going to be short. I made sure to look into all that information before I bought the game, but I really loved it. It was definitely fun. So had a great time with that. You know, just sat in the darkness, leaned back in my chair, and I just played this game while high and listened to all this cool music. So loved it. And then after I played for a little while longer, I actually ended up playing another game that I had on my Switch, and I realized all my Switch games, I'm just not gonna bother recording. If I buy it for the Switch, it's just gonna be to play, because of like the weird. Like I have to buy more equipment to record on the Switch. At least if I'm trying to like do it live, or I shouldn't say do it live, but actually do like a gaming video. I would have to kind of do some other stuff because, like I mentioned, with the audio and having the weird issues with that, it would have to like come off the TV. And I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna enjoy my Switch games, and then I'll pick like the 100 trillion games I have left on Steam to play, and I can easily do those for the channel. But I ended up playing River City Girls, and that was pretty fun. I of course did not beat that game because that is way longer than 2 hours, and I probably played for about 2, maybe 3 hours. Pretty fun, cool, beat 'em up, side scroller arcade game. You get to pick between two characters, two girls, and their whole thing is that they are going to try to rescue their boyfriends, who are the main characters from the original River City Ransom on Nintendo, and it's pretty fun. It's a silly anime style game, side scroller beat 'em up. You have to definitely grind. Like I think I got to. I think it was only the second boss, but there's a boss in the game. He's, like I said, he's probably the second dude, and he has like supernatural abilities or whatever. That dude was so tough to beat, and it was really crazy. I was like, okay, I can't freaking beat this guy. So of course you do the classic beat 'em up thing. Whoops, too close. Um, Kept losing, so I was like, all right, I'm gonna leave, beat up a bunch of random people, get my rank up. I was like, all right. I went up like maybe 2 full ranks. Went back to fight him, still couldn't beat this guy, and I was like, okay, I need to just buy a healing item. I realized like that was all I needed to do because I could get him really low, but he kept beating me. So I was like, all right, I need to just go to the mall, get a healing item, and then I can go back to the character and fight him. And then, of course, I do all this. I grind, I upgrade, I get new skills, I go buy this item because I'm like, this dude's gonna beat my butt, and then I can just heal, and then I beat him. I kept getting all the healing items that because they do have it where he spawns like healing items that you can get, and I was just like, of course that happens. So I bought the healing item to try to like save myself when I was getting beat up too much, and then I ended up beating him like after I did all that work. I still needed to go up in rank. Clearly, I needed to like have more like strength and agility and stuff, but it was just funny like after all of that because I still lost like 2 or 3 times before I went to get that one item. So it wasn't like I left and then I still went up a couple more ranks. I went up those 2 ranks and then I went back and he still beat the crap out of me. It always came down, classic, always came down to like the last little meter of his health. And I think the first time I almost beat him was before I did any of the upgrades. It was legitimately like one hit, but you know how it is with video games. Once you're down to that last little bit, they go into like crazy mega spamming block mode where they can block every freaking hit. And I was like, I literally think I needed like one more hit on him, maybe two. Like if I could have just done one last combo, I could have won, and it would probably have saved me like a full hour. Like I probably spent an hour in total, like trying to beat him and then leaving and then beating up a bunch of random characters just to build up points. I think I even did like I found a side mission because I was like, all right, screw it. And I think I ended up finding a side mission before even going back to him. So I did a bunch of random stuff, and it was just like, cool. After all that, even buying the item didn't really do much for me. So that was interesting. I ended up just naturally beating him. So now I'm in the next segment of the game, and then that was where I kind of gave up because I think it was like, it had to have been like 2 or 3 in the morning at that point. So I decided to go to sleep. And then today, I pretty much did nothing at all. Like there was pretty much literally no value to this entire day. The only thing I did was sit on the computer. I watched a bunch of YouTube videos, and I kept going through, and I'm pretty sure I mentioned this last night, but I was stuck on the one decision of, do I buy this stupid roll cage for the GoPro, or do I buy screen protectors for the GoPro? That I spent my whole day doing that, because that's what happens when I get into research mode. I mentioned that before. It was really it's a lot easier to do it for like the full item compared to like these tiny little things. Like they do the same thing, and that's why it was so hard for me to figure out, like, do I spend the money on this roll cage, or do I just buy the screen protectors, because they both kind of function in the same way, but one is cheaper than the other. And then in another regard, it's like, people, like pretty much everyone was like, don't bother going to GoPro to get them because they're like $20. So just, get them from Amazon. So of course, you go through, you do your research, read all the reviews, and I always do the same thing. I always go, just give me the most recent. Don't give me top views or this or that. Just let me see what happened recently. And it was just back and forth. It was like some people have good stuff. There was one that I looked up where like a bunch of the recent ones were bad. And I was like, okay, that makes that easy. So I just exit that one out. But there was one that I was just kind of going back for. I was like, it's the Amazon Choice one, but it also seemed really bad. And it was like they had reviews where clearly it was a different item before, and they just changed the name. Like they didn't like cancel that listing and then make a new item. It was literally like in the reviews it said like this item, and I was like, that's not the item I'm about to buy. So it was the same item that they were selling, but they were saying it went to the new GoPro, which is not the same. It's not the same shape technically. So a lot of the reviews are like, they don't stick to the back screen like they're supposed to, or this was happening or that was happening. One of them mentioned that it worked, but it literally like fell. It was like in a backpack, so it was probably like a little high, and it just like leaned over and fell on something, and then it broke. So I was like, well, that's crazy. It protected the screen, but like even like they said in that comment, I was like, well, what's the point of buying a screen protector for $15 if it can fall down just lightly, sticking out of a backpack, and then it cracks and you have to like use the second one? It's like, well, there's no value in that. It can't be that good. So it was just a crazy situation, like trying to figure out, do I buy these things? Do I buy this thing? And then ultimately I was like, okay, I'm just going to buy both, because they each had their benefits and their negatives. It was that classic thing, like, I want to get the roll cage because it allows for me to have the replacement lens, but it also has like the silicone thing on the outside. So it protects it on the outside, like a little bit extra, it's just, a little bit of silicone, but it protects it a little bit more on the outside. Plus I get the replaceable filter thing. And I'd heard that if you have that case, you can use like ND filters and stuff like that, which I'm not really into, but that was one of the things I want to get into because it's a part of, filmmaking and stuff like that. So learning polarizers and stuff like that. I know what they are and I know what they do, but I haven't gone into like the crazy research because I haven't gotten to that point as far as like making videos. That's not really, the type of stuff that I really do. Obviously, I just do nerdy vlog stuff and gaming videos. So I don't need to be like, what type of polarizers will change, the look of me just standing in front of a bookshelf. Little stuff like that. So I was like, all right, it has that benefit. But then the weird thing was that because it's not a full case, the front lens is protected, but I was like, well, what about the back camera, like the screen on the back? So I was worried about that. So I was like, well, that's why I want the protective cases. So that's why I kept looking back and forth. And I was like, I don't want to buy both because you kind of don't need both. Like everything I looked up, no one had really used both, even though this thing is, I want to say it's like 7 or 8 months old at this point. So I kept trying to find new videos. Like that's all I was doing. I was like, all right, so there's this video for the roll cage. It's most of the screen protector videos were just people putting them on, and I was like, I kept trying to freaking find one video where someone just tested the freaking screen protectors. I was like, I wish someone would just scratch this thing so I could see some actual content. And that's all I was really trying to find, was like, is anyone going to actually test this thing? Because everyone says like just buy them and this and that, but not a single person. Even the simple is like little quarter scratch. I was like, I just kind of need to see some examples. How serious is the protection? How, what are the checks and balances here? So it was insane. I could not find it. And ultimately, that's why I kind of just got to the point where I was like, screw it. I'm just going to buy both. So that's what I did. I ended up buying both of those. And it did end up going through GoPro to get their version, because I realized as I was getting something, I think it was because I was actually looking earlier, I realized that if you go on there, they have the GoPro Plus or whatever their special deal is. You can do a 30-day free trial, and you can get if you do their thing, you get percentages off for all of the mounts and stuff like that. I wish it was for everything, because you can't do it for chargers and batteries. You can't do it like for SD cards, because technically that's not their product. They just sell like SanDisk products. But it was like you can't do chargers, you can't do batteries and other people's products, but you can still do all the mounts and stuff like that. So the screen protectors, instead of being $20, were only $10. I was like, well, that's really cool. And then the cage, the roll cage, was I think like $15 instead of 25 or whatever the actual price is. And then they had the full case mount, which is the one where you can like deep dive underwater. I wanted to get that too, and I was like, well, if I can get it on sale, I'll get it now instead of waiting, because like I don't plan on doing that. Of course, like I'm in Michigan, I'm not really going to be deep diving or anything like that. But I was like, I'd love to have the case instead of being like, oh, I'm about to do this trip or whatever, and then I have to buy it and wait for it to come in. It's like, well, just get it on sale. So ultimately, I was like, screw it, I'm going to get everything that I need right now. I knew I needed a battery, so I was like, I'm going to get the extra battery and the charger. So I got that, and I got the screen protectors, the roll cage, and the underwater, the full diving mount thing for whenever I actually end up using that, because everything was like way off for the 30-day trial. Then this weird thing happened where it went through, because I got the notification from my credit card company, like, hey, this notification is posted, or, this payment is, it didn't like post, but, like where it's pending or whatever. It's like it went through. But I didn't get an email from GoPro, which was weird. And I think it was because of something else I was doing on my computer that was kind of messing with it, because I've been on Omaze, where you've probably seen a bunch of the ads where it's like, hey, come have a trip with this random famous person, this and that. I found out recently, probably like a few weeks ago actually, that you can sign up for all those things without having to actually like donate, which I don't have a bunch of money to donate as many times as I've entered. So I found that out, and you can literally enter like once per minute. And I've been on this thing where I'm trying to win like $100,000, which at this very specific point in my life, I really need. So I've been doing that. Like every time I'm on the computer, I have like two tabs open, and so it's like the left side is like my research tab. Like it'll be like Facebook, Twitter, whatever random. Like eBay was always on the left side. Anything that's not moving is always on the left. YouTube is always on the right, or whatever I might be watching. So it's like watch this side, click on things, read through stuff, and research on that side. So every minute I'm like going back, like I'll watch a YouTube video, be like, has it been a minute? And then I'll go back to Amaze and I'll put my little info in. Of course it autofills, so click. I've had to do the little fake robot thing, like I am a human, click the thing that has the traffic lights in it. I've done that so many times. It's interesting what you pass and what you fail on that, because I was like, this program doesn't catch as much as it thinks, because there was one time for sure that I missed. It's been a couple times actually, like you see the meme where it's like, does the thing that's like in the tiny corner of a box count, like that sort of thing. So I just click the boxes, like if it's even remotely in it, I'll just click it. But there have been a couple of times where I was like, okay, it said click everything that has a bus in it. And so one of the pictures, I was like, well, that's clearly just a truck, that's not a bus. And so I hit verify, and it was like, try again. And I was like, okay. And I clicked the truck, and it let me do it. And I was like, that's definitely not a bus, that's just a truck. It was just a white truck. I'm like, that's not a bus. And then there's a bunch of other times, and like I never know with the traffic lights. I just click everything. I'm like, green, red, yellow, all the the walk and the stop sign. I click all that. Not actual stop sign, but like the light up signs. I click all that stuff, and it just goes through. But there have been a couple of times where I'm like, that was not the thing, or there was definitely a square where I was like, clearly there's a car in that picture, and I just forgot. I was doing it super fast, and I was like, oh, and I click verify, and it goes right through, and I'm like, okay, so it doesn't. It's not really 100%. It's just a good enough thing. Like, okay, you registered 90% of the little boxes. So that's been interesting. And I think I've done it so much now that the site itself is kind of coming at me, because sometimes I'll have to go through like double verification. It'll be like a totally different site, and it's like, hey, we have to like double check and stuff, and it's like a totally different screen. I have to click I am a human, and then I have to do a different verification thing, and then it takes me to the thing where I can sign in and like put my name in to enter the contest again. So that's been interesting. And I feel like because I was doing that, and I think it was the first time it actually went to like that really crazy screen. Today was the first day that happened. And I feel like because that was, it shouldn't make any difference. It shouldn't do this. But I was like, I don't know, that was a weird coincidence that it just suddenly seemed to happen. but that random like double security screen popped up and I was going through it. And then when I went to buy all of my stuff from GoPro, it just kind of went through and vanished. And that was really weird. And I was like, I don't know what that means. So I'm going to have to wait about a day or two, especially because it's the weekend. So probably by Monday or Tuesday, I'm going to have to wait and see what happens with that because I got the notification, like I said, it was like, hey, your money's gone. But I didn't get an email like I did when I bought the camera and nothing happened. Like it was literally like I clicked enter after putting in all my information and it just ended. And it was just like, boom. And it just went to the next screen. And I was like, this isn't a confirmation screen. This doesn't say, all right, we got it. Confirmation number. Here you go, buddy. Nothing happened. And it just went back to the like front page of the website. And then I freaked out for a second. I was like, have I been on a fake website this whole time? Like, I legitimately freaked out for a second. But I was like, if that did happen, I'll just cancel the charge. I don't think that's the case because, like I said, I got the email from them originally. And, like, it has the little lock and all this extra stuff that I have for my safe browser. But it was crazy. I was like, So that sucked because I went through the entire day doing that. And then I finally made my decision because I was able to do the little 30-day trial thing. So I got like everything. I think altogether, when I did the math, it was probably like I saved like 50 or $60 or something like this, probably $50. And I was like, okay, I can, I was okay with that because I was using the 30-day trial to save some extra money. And it was just weird. I was just like, I don't particularly like this. So we'll see what happens. I'll have that update. That'll most likely be, in next week's vlog because, of course, even right now, it's currently Saturday. But yeah, that was pretty much all of Friday. Like, all I did, sat in front of the computer. Do I want to get these screen protectors? Do I want to get this roll cage? It was insane. Like, I just could not make the decision because I was just like, okay. I don't know why it took me forever because I guess it's because I've been buying, like you guys have been seeing the collections. I've been getting records. I've been getting broken collector's editions. It's literally like right here. Scott Pilgrim records, collector's editions. I've been spending a decent amount of money, which is funny. Like it's all kind of happening very condensed. So it's really weird because at first it was just like, okay, I wasn't getting anything. As soon as the record stuff came in, it just opened up Pandora's box. It was all these records, looking up all the collector's editions for stuff. I'm still trying to find a reasonably priced Resident Evil 3. I just look every day for Resident Evil 3. I'm just like, one of these days it'll just be somewhere decent, or one of these days I might be rich, and then I'll pay the $300 because I really want that figure. I want that Jill figure. But yeah, I opened up Pandora's box finding out about those Resident Evil records, and then I went down the rabbit hole. And then my buddy talking to me about like the filming and being like, maybe we should look into getting a gimbal. And then I'm like, government money can be gimbal money. And then that turned into government money can be gimbal and GoPro money. Especially, I don't know if I mentioned this last night because obviously I was high. But the GoPro was like $100 off. I think I mentioned I got a deal, but it was specifically $100 off. So I was like, okay, I can definitely pick it up. It is the second to last GoPro because technically they just came out apparently with like the new Hero Max, which is the 360 camera. I don't think it's that good based off of like all the reviews I saw. Everything I need is in the Hero 8. Like the Max is like you need to want to do 360 stuff because it's good, but it doesn't have the same features. Like it's not the GoPro 8 plus 360. Like it's totally different. Like it's a 360 camera and it has some other good features, but it is not what I want. So I was like, okay, I'm totally fine and happy because I started looking up reviews and I was like, dang, should I have bought this? And then once I went to the GoPro site and I actually clicked on it and it's like $500, I was like, nope, I shouldn't have bought this, so that's fine. So I was totally happy with it. Plus, like I said, once I saw the reviews, the 8 is really what I'm looking for. So that'll be here at some point. It hasn't shipped. Normally they do like 2-day shipping. I already knew that was, I mentioned before, I knew that wasn't going to be a thing, so I'm not like stressed about it. But at least I got the email for that one. So like I said, as of now, the news story, which I guess will hopefully be concluded next week. I mean, I'm going to definitely look at the very least on Monday, solely based on the fact that it's the weekend. I know that can, have its weird issues for like money going through and whatever does end up happening. Cause like I said, I literally clicked it and it was like, yes, confirm and, place my order. And then it was just like, and it just went to the main screen and I was like, Okay. And initially, before the my little notification popped up on my phone, I was like, it couldn't have gone through because literally nothing. Like, there's no way it actually went through, and then it somehow like jumped to the main screen. Like, it doesn't even make sense. Like, it would have to specifically go to, um, like the confirmation screen, I guess. So it wouldn't even make sense that it went through, if it goes to the main screen. And then my phone lit up, and it was like, hey, this went through for sure. And I was like, okay, we'll see what happens. So I don't know because obviously I don't have an order number. I don't have an email. If I put in my information, because I did find that, because it was really hard to find any information on the GoPro site. Because when you go to settings, that's something they should fix for their actual website. If you go to settings, there is nothing there. I was like, where the F are my orders? You have to go to the bottom of the page, and like, how there's always the information like, hey, contact us and this and that at the very bottom. That's where you find your orders. Where it's like, track your orders and this and that. I was like, why is that in the bottom, but not like I click settings? Just there's a left tab bar. I don't even remember what's on there. Like, it has the subscription plus thing, which that was like the first thing I knew was weird because I was like, okay, it's still saying like, do you want to sign up? And I was like, I technically just did, and that was like my first clue, and I was like, okay, something weird is happening, but I figured the money didn't go through at the time, and then it did, and so now it's super weird because I'm like, I signed out and signed back in. That was my first thing. I was like, okay, if I sign out and sign in, maybe it'll kind of catch up and it'll register. I've been on the site like all freaking day and going back and forth, opening tabs, like look at this, look at that, and so I've been doing it all day. So I was like, sometimes weird things happen. So I'll log out, completely log out, close the whole site, open it back up, I'll log in and see what happens. And then it was just like, nope, it didn't register anything, but the money did. So I don't know what's gonna happen with that. I've never had that experience. It was super weird to have technically have the confirmation go through. So I don't know. I have no idea. I would assume they're in California. So if it's midnight now, it's well, they wouldn't be. There would be no reason for them to be open. No one would be in the office because there's a whole thing. So I don't know what's gonna happen, but like I said, that'll most likely be in next week's vlog, unless that gets figured out later today. I kind of doubt it'll happen because odds are, it won't post, within one day, especially with it being the weekend, even if it was, normal times. So I don't know what's going to happen with that, but that was probably the most significant thing that actually happened after an entire day of nothingness. I've been starving all day. Like, I ate like 4 eggs, probably like 15 minutes before I actually started filming. That was pretty much all I had. I had like 2 frozen dinners, and because I didn't really eat anything at all, that was pretty much what happened. Like, I was just starving all day, but I was like, I don't want to eat until I make this freaking decision, and I would get up a little bit here and there, but I'm still kind of hungry. I didn't want to eat at 10 o'clock, but I was like, I have to eat something because the frozen dinners didn't do enough because I didn't really eat anything big all day. Like, I just been sitting down, starving, trying to, like, racking my brain between these two stupid decisions, and I should have just bought them. If I knew the subscription thing was even an option where I had a 30-day trial, this would have been over super fast. I would have been like, screw it, I'll just buy both and then just protect both sides however I need to do it. So if I figured that out before like making a decision, then that would have been very, very different. Like, today would have been real different. I would have actually edited. I still haven't done that, so I still have to figure that out for tomorrow for my tabs video, what the heck I'm going to do. At this point, I'm just going to use the camera audio. That's kind of the decision I made. I will still test it tomorrow. I will still see if there's something else that can be done. I still haven't really, obviously today I've done nothing but be like screen protectors, cage. So obviously I haven't really thought much about like, do I want to buy a new program and, spend more money and just to test that because it may or may not work. So that's something I really have to consider. And then I have to actually test my video and like do some different settings, and hopefully it just works because I genuinely don't understand what's going on. Like, I haven't changed my settings on my camera. I've done the exact same thing I've always done. So I don't know what happened and why like this sudden batch is just wrong. And so I'm curious now if it's actually because of my camera or if it's because of my audio. Because every video I looked up, it was kind of the same thing as today. Every time I look up the audio drift, it's the same video over and over again. It's like, when you transfer from phones and this and that, and I'm like, I just need someone to tell me what can I do on my camera to fix this problem. But every time I look it up, it's always an issue like from phones or tablets. So I'm like, I don't know why I have this issue, and I'm just using a freaking camera and a microphone. So I don't know. I have weird issues that I seem to have to deal with. But that's been Friday. Star Wars, also. Star Wars did happen. That was the first thing that happened. It was amazing. The final episode is Monday. So obviously, I'm going to be flipping and flying because it's also going to be Star Wars Day. So I can't wait for that. Star Wars was great. And it was Order 66 today. That was a good one. So I can't wait for this final episode. I hope it's an hour long. I doubt it will be, but I'd love that. But that's Friday. Weird, mostly useless day. I did do my review for Star Wars, so I did actually do something of value today. But after that, it was pretty much a dead day. It was sitting down. I was technically researching. I was doing the best I could. I was trying to find other people's videos. I was like, I just need a stress test. Somebody scratch these things. Can I trust this site? It's the same companies that always sell, like, you can buy, if you ever get a GoPro, just go to Amazon. You can get, like, the kits. It'll be, like, 30 items in one. That's what I did when I had my first one, like, my little hero session. You can still do that today for the GoPro 8 and you'll be just fine. You can get head mounts. They'll probably be the older ones because now I've seen like some chest mounts in like all the videos I was watching. They have like updated chest mounts that have like cushions and padding, and I was like, oh, that looks nice. I'm not going to buy it because I'm like, I have chest mounts. But you can spend like $25 and you can get a ton of mounts for GoPro. So if you ever go into buying GoPros, or if you happen to be in the field now, just go to Amazon. You can do all that there. Screen protection wise, I will have to leave that up to you because obviously it drove me insane, and I barely even etched out making a decision by the end of the day, which is why I didn't start filming until like 3 minutes before it became Saturday. It was the whole day, and then I was like, I need to eat some eggs and watch a YouTube video, and then I went into film. So Friday was weird, and now it's even weirder because who knows what happened with my money. Fortunately, it's on the credit card instead of like my debit card, so it's not like the money actually left for real. And I could just easily be like, hey, beep, cancel. So we'll see what happens. I already did that where I was like, this is right, but something's off. And then it was like, well, you have to wait until like 2 or 3 days until it actually posts in order to like go through that process. So I'll see what happens. I doubt I could get in touch with GoPro and figure that out. So we'll see. Like I said, I'll either let you guys know that I guess technically later today, or that will be sometime next week when the money posts, and then I have to call whoever I need to call to get my stuff. And that's pretty much it. So I was going to say see you guys tomorrow, but I will just be seeing you guys later. Hey everybody, it is actually Sunday today. Yesterday was pretty nuts, which obviously is why I'm filming on Sunday. It's actually like 5 o'clock, so when I start the next vlog, I probably won't even be wearing this because I probably won't end up doing that until really late. Hopefully, I'll actually be doing it on Sunday and not be doing it midnight, my classic midnight 11:58 and filming into Monday. So I would love for that to be the case, but we shall see what happens ultimately. But the reason I ended up filming is because I finally ended up going through my tabs video, dealing with my audio drift, all that extra crap. Ultimately, never fixed it. I just did basically the classic old school solution. When the audio drifts, you cut the clip and you move the audio to match the video. I had to do it. I was like, I have no real other options. None of the other options seem to work. Like everyone being like, use Handbrake, didn't work. How to fix audio drift in these other programs, it hasn't worked. Also, you can probably hear outside. For some reason, you can hear like everything when I'm in my bedroom, like through the window. And fortunately, because apparently someone's moving in today. So I was like, man, I hope that backing up the beeping isn't going to keep happening. But they backed up, so they're good now. They're just going to be moving. So you might hear some clanking, and if they drop something, you'll probably hear some noises. But yeah, so I went through that, and I basically just had to do that. I actually didn't finish it until today because the video was like an hour and a half. I filmed for a super long time when I did that, and I actually condensed it down to like, I don't think it was even 30 full minutes. So it was a lot cut from that video because it was just like, I actually talked through a ton of it, so I had to like watch it, be like, what is funny, what's not funny. And as it got closer to the end, or honestly, I cut like a full hour, and it was super fast. I just went through and I was like, what happened? Because I still remember what happened as I went through it. I was like, okay, I remember that funny moment, the big laughs here and there, and there's like little bits and pieces that are like, oh, that's funny to kind of at least show the progression of time. Otherwise, it literally just ends and it's just like, okay, bye. I even had to put that in the beginning. I'm like, just for reference. This was like cut down from like an hour and a half because it was a 420 video. It was long, and so there's a lot of cutting in the video because I go through a million different battles in that game. But it was fun. I really do like the video. I have probably one of my biggest laughs on the channel so far, and it's a fun game. It's a fun game in general. So It's definitely good. I just didn't need to play it for like an hour and a half. It was even in the video. It was literally I just kept trying to beat this very specific character just to see what the limits were because the characters were so overpowered. Even if I put like a certain limit of those characters, and I was trying to see like what other characters can beat these characters, and no one can beat like the freaking pirate queens in tabs. It's like impossible. It was so insane. But I skipped over like all of that because none of it was actually funny except for like a few bits and pieces. But I went through. I did most of the video last night, and then it was like 2 o'clock in the morning. So I was like, all right, I'm already not gonna end up uploading tonight anyway, because even if I finish it, it's still gonna take an hour to. Well, I guess technically it only took like 20 minutes because I didn't think I'd actually cut it down to half an hour. So that was in my mindset. Like it'll take an hour to render anyway. I'm not gonna upload at like 4 o'clock in the morning. So I was like, I'll just finish it tomorrow since I already, it's already too late to upload tonight, or do my every other day schedule technically. I was like, screw it. I'm like, go to sleep, get some rest, and just finish it. So that's what I ended up doing. Finished it and just threw it out there. So I'm like, all right, that's good. And then today I was kind of working on my Resident Evil thing. But yesterday, because I realized I don't want to go through and ruin everything for the beginning of the next vlog, because if I talk about all of today, then there's nothing there. But yesterday, I went out. I did get an oil change. I ended up going to my dad's because the oil change place is like right down the road from him. So got an oil change, which is great, by the way. Now that they have like with the whole virus thing happening, they don't do any of that extra stuff where they're like, okay, do this, do that, left blinker, right blinker, brake, flash your lights. And I know why they do that because it helps you, prevent you from getting a ticket because you have a tail light out or whatever. So I understand why we do that, but it was great. It was just like, okay, he filled it up, turned the car on to let it run through. He told me about, the usual. He still told me about the stuff that I need to do, which is like, your transmission is leaking, oil is leaking, these windshield wipers, like, oil, man, that's all I need. So classic stuff. It's like, okay, yeah, they suck. I'm not going to, I don't care. So told me what I already knew. And then I was out of there pretty fast. I was like, that was great. I didn't have to do all the stupid stuff and check this and check that. And it was cool. So I went to my dad, saw my stepmom, played with the pup, sat outside because yesterday was actually really nice. It was really warm yesterday. So, and I heard we're supposed to be apparently getting some cold snaps again, and Michigan weather. Like it was super warm yesterday, and it's just like, yeah, we're supposed to be getting like some freezing temperatures. I'm like, okay, I guess. But like I said before, that's Michigan. You just don't know till you go out there or you just see it. So that was interesting. While I was at my dad's, aside from playing around and sitting with the dog, my dad told me about a bunch, like it was some like 2 boxes that we have from the old house that I grew up in. It was like, go through this if you want. Just let me know what you want to keep or what you want to sell or, try to give away or whatever. So I went through. I only picked up like 3 of the toys, but I'm actually going to do like a full video of this. There were so many old toys in there where it was just like, you have these flashbacks, like all the things you just forget about. All these old toys, and I was like, holy crap, I remember this, I remember that. So I picked up a couple. I just kind of grabbed them as they were. So this, I don't remember this character's name, but it's from He-Man. It's from the reboot He-Man that was on Cartoon Network for a little bit. Really good reboot, but it got canceled, much like Thundercats, which was amazing, and then they canceled it. But yeah, so he's not as spry as he used to be. You can see like I kind of have to swing him for his arms to go up some of the time, but that's pretty much it. Is this, he had weapons and stuff. Like I have a ton of the characters. I have him, I have He-Man, Skeletor, Man-at-Arms. I had a bunch of the weapons and stuff still, so that's all in the bag. And the other one I have, this is actually from Burger King. I don't know if you guys remember this toy. Some of you might have having instant flashbacks, but this is Magneto from X-Men Evolution. And so Burger King had these toys where you get a character, they'd be on the stand. I actually still have the stand too. It just wasn't connected in the bag, like they separated. But it's like one of those little things where you can look through it and it'll have like character stats. I don't know why, but for some reason the character is Magneto, but the stats were Rogue. I don't know if I had both, because that makes way more sense. Like you get the character, you get that character stats. So I probably had Magneto and Rogue. I just lost Magneto's stand and the Rogue figure. So I have Magneto as the character, and then I have like the stand itself. When you look through it, it's Rogue's stuff. So I was like, okay, cool. And it was like, man, that's crazy flashbacks. The other thing I found, which I don't actually have, it was really funny because I just watched Sci-Fi Wire. They just put out a video for Beast Wars, and I actually commented like, I probably still have, because they show like the old, I can't remember. Was it McDonald's? It may have been Burger King. It was one of them, Burger King or McDonald's. And they showed like all the toys, and I was like, oh man, I probably still have that Black Arachnia Transmetal toy. And it was funny. It was like 2 days later, I'm going through at my dad's house, and I found it. I was like, yep, I remember that toy. So I got that toy. That's definitely going on the shelf because I love me some Beast Wars. Then the other one that I picked out of the bag, this will be the last one, old Hulk figure. Got the ripped shirt and the pants, which is cool. He's got, oh, maybe it's not the, oh, it wasn't his arms, it's his leg. Oops, shouldn't have done that. It was already in position. He's got leg kicking action. I may have messed it up. Yeah, I think I screwed it up like just now because it was not in slow motion before. Oh man, that is actually insanely tough. I guess that's just how it does. But yeah, that's, there's Hulk Smash, and all that good stuff. Lots of old toys. So I'm gonna be doing a video on my main channel for that. I'm not sure when that probably won't be like to the end of the week because I'm really trying to figure this stuff out for these videos so that I can kind of make sure I'm on schedule. Like I want to actually get to the point where I really am editing multiple videos in a day because I don't think I was doing it even from the beginning. I may have, like, maybe 1 or 2 days, I may have actually edited 2 different videos, but it was also simple. I wasn't dealing with these crazy audio issues and all this other crap. So at first, when it was like, oh, I need to do a video, I could just be like, all right, I'll just edit it all today, and it's no problem. And then the audio sync stuff happened, or the auto drift. So that really kind of screwed me up. Like that was the only reason I was off like the very first time. This is the second time now that I haven't kept with my every other day schedule. And it's specifically because of going through those issues. Granted, also, if I wasn't doing tabs and I did do an hour and a half long video, I probably would have been able to do it normal. Like if it was just Resident Evil 3 and I was just doing audio drift, it probably would have been simple because it would have been like an hour long. And especially because it's, the video I'm about to do now is RE Resistance, so it's the online portion. So everything is like, there was really nothing to cut from that content because it's just like, oh, what's going to happen because it's other people, so it's more entertaining to see it all. But when it's literally just me and I'm making comments on like how silly the tabs is, it's an hour and a half. I had to go through it and like cut content for like what was the best because I didn't want to put. I was like, an hour and a half for tabs didn't even make sense. I realize that now. It makes way more sense for story games, but that's literally like a pick up and play type game. That should have been, I should have filmed for 30 minutes anyway. But I did get some good content out of that hour and a half, and some of it did come after the 30-minute mark. But yeah, that was interesting. I was like, huh, I should not have played for this long because I'm not gonna do that again because I talked through a ton of it, and when it's story stuff, it's a lot easier. Like I'm commenting on the game or I'm something about the game. Like Resident Evil, if I'm talking through, I know I'm either talking about something that's useful because it's about the game itself, or it's about what the game made me think of that relates to the game, or maybe even another franchise. But it's all interesting stuff. And for tabs, it's genuinely just a commentary. Like it's straight up just, this is what's happening in tabs. I had like one thing, I did talk about my dog, or my sister's dog, Roscoe. So I didn't mention him because of like, I had a mammoth in one scene and the mammoth was like really clumsy and Roscoe's very silly and clumsy. So it did make me think of him, and that I left that in because I'm like, I'm gonna talk about the dog. So I left that in, but other than that, it was just like exactly what you're seeing. That's what I'm commenting on. And some stuff I was making up commentary for and silly stuff, like my big laugh in the episode. But for the most part, it was just like, this is what's happening as you're seeing it. It made me laugh, but it would just be like tiny little smirks. And I was like, all right, just wipe that whole hour out and it's just gone. So I'll probably only do like 30, 40 minutes, maybe not even 40. I'll probably cap it at like 30 minutes when I actually film the next episode, and however much content comes out of that will. But yeah, if it wasn't that long, I probably could have done it yesterday and actually stayed on track. But now the Resident Evil thing I want to have up for tomorrow, which is why, of course, I'm doing this at 5 p.m. So now I got to figure that out because it's been freezing. And I literally didn't think about it until before I did this, that I should probably try the other programs just to see if they'll at least accept this altered file that I have. So I'll try to figure it out. I feel like I'm getting closer. I've gotten to the point where the freaking thing loads up. I've been able to do this, the audio sync, even though I know it's off. Sometimes it like at least one thing tends to match, so it's just like a little bit less work. So I'll have to check on that because I actually did it before starting this. But that was pretty much all of yesterday. So Saturday was oil, dad's house, bunch of old toys, and then I came back. Oh, I got pizza yesterday too. I got pizza, Little Caesars, because it was just on the way. It was super fast. Got a Most Bestest hot and ready. It's the $6 one. It's like 50% more cheese and pepperoni. I really like it. Insanely greasy. I don't know why. It's the cheese, but it's just like most pizza, unless it's like that crazy, where it's like, the pepperoni like curls up and there's just grease in like a bowl of pepperoni. Outside of that, pizza's never like insanely greasy. It is in the box, but the Most Bestest is like you touch it and it's grease, and I'm like, this is insane to me. Delicious though. It tastes way better than the $5 hot and ready. Like that extra cheese and pepperoni, it's weird. It just changes everything about the pizza. It's so good. So I got that because I was like, I really want pizza. So did that. I've eaten, sadly, all the pizza. I ate like most of it, I think, yesterday, and then I finished it off today, basically as breakfast, and that's pretty much it. Also yesterday, this came in, so I got my gimbal, which is great. As you can see, haven't even opened the plastic. I cleaned the plastic and I tossed the box away, but it's just been sitting. And I didn't read Scott Pilgrim, of course, because of the edits and all that stuff. So my comic book day plan was totally dead. Like that's dead and gone. Tomorrow is Star Wars Day, which is a big part of why I really want to get my Resident Evil video done. So I want to have that done today. I don't think I'll edit 2 videos today because I just don't really feel like it. Like I just feel like crap. Also, woke up today and actually, you know what? I'll save it. I'll save that for the next video. So you can check that on the next video, but it's an interesting little thing to leave you guys on a cliffhanger, but now I have to freak out about something else. So I'll just save that for the next one. I won't be standing here. Who knows what time it'll be, and who knows if I'll have showered by then. I really want to go out and get food as well. I'm so hungry, and all I have is like the frozen food right now. I have some hot dogs, and I might just do that because like everything's just getting on my nerves. Like I'm just very frustrated right now. So that's kind of just how Sunday has gone so far, and that's pretty much how Saturday. The first half of Saturday was pretty nice, like being outside and like seeing my family and stuff, play with the dog, of course, and then like trying to go through the edits, and it was good. I mean, it was actually progress. It was just that I had a super long video, so I wasn't like really upset. I was just like, oh, it's annoying that the video is so long. I would like to upload it today, but I at least made the decision, and I figured out my strategy to how to like condense the issues with audio drift and how to kind of go through it faster. So if I have audio drift from now on, that's just how it's gonna be. It's gonna take longer. I'm still gonna test that out audio wise for my next videos and see what I can do. I have some other external devices I can use for audio, so we'll see what happens. But that's pretty much been the week. Saturday was all right. It was pretty good, and today is obviously it's like 5 something now. So it's just been eat, watch a little bit. I watched this show called Hollywood, so I'll save that a little bit as well for the beginning of the next vlog. But unless I forget, I'll probably forget, but that's like my new show. Like I saw the trailer play on Netflix and I was like, I'm watching that show, and I love the first episode. So I'm sure I'll be talking about that as I go throughout the week. I'm sure at some point I'll remember to be like, that show is really good, but I like it. It's really good. So that is the end of the week. Of course, hope you guys are staying safe as always. Hope you guys are staying sane. Hope you're not nearly as frustrated as I have been. Just the past 12 hours, I'd say. Past 12 hours. A little bit longer, I guess. I was editing around 1 or so. Having crazy dreams. I didn't mention that either. That's something else. I actually have quite a bit to talk about in the beginning of the next one. I started a dream journal, so I'll be reading off some of those because I keep forgetting to do it. I've been having some crazy dreams. It's just, things have been weird lately. So I'll be talking about some of that stuff in the next vlog. Like I said, hope you guys are staying safe. Somehow, having some fun, playing some games, watching TV, whatever, maybe reading some comics. I have to wait probably till the end of the week for the Scott Pilgrim thing because of Star Wars Day tomorrow. All this other stuff that I have like set up for the week, and maybe trying to figure out the video stuff. Not specifically just Resident Evil, but I think Resident Evil is actually my last one. I think I have to record tomorrow night. Now that I think about it, because I've only done one Tabs video so far, and RE2 or Resident Evil Resistance Part 2. Yeah, that's the last video I actually even have recorded. So I do have to film very soon, or it's impossible to upload. Actually, I have my Let's Discuss video, which I can probably edit that, and it'll be so much faster. So we'll see. But thanks for checking this out. If you guys have any comments, as always, you can put them down in the comment section below. Stay safe, find a way to have fun, and I will see you guys next week.